Hi everyone, it's Christy Funk from ChristyFunk.com, and today I'm giving you 5 tips on overcoming pain. For the sake of this vlog, it's really emotional pain that I'm talking about, although you could use some of the tips for physical pain. After all, the mind and the body are connected. So these tips can be done really quickly for somebody that is at least in a place of developing their self-awareness. It may be a little bit more of a struggle if your emotional intelligence isn't quite there and you have a hard time understanding the emotional radar that you have within yourself. But let's make this simple and easy. It's interesting, and I'm sure you could agree that we as a culture avoid pain. From medication, as soon as we get a headache, it's like, oh, give me the Tylenol or whatever you use for a headache. If it's an emotional pain, then we use several ways of distracting us from that pain, whether it's substance, it could be alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling. We also can use things like shopping. Any type of addictive behaviors really help to numb those pains. And we go into that place, or we work really hard, or we do these other things, anything to avoid dealing with the pain, distractions, much like what we do with a toddler when they're about to go into a dangerous situation. We distract them, we pull them away from it. But emotional pain is something that we can gain a lot of insight from, and that is a gift, really. I mean, everything happens for a reason. God's divine plan, all of those things come into place when we are dealing with our emotions. And so I'm inviting you to take a look at your pain and to embrace it and understand what you can learn from it so that you can develop yourself emotionally and spiritually as this vibrant being on this planet. So the first thing that we want to do is identify the pain. And I'm really, really enjoying Dr. Mario Martinez's work, where he says, he states very clearly that there's 3 core wounds, which is shame, abandonment, and betrayal. So if you look at your own situation, you can see where your pain falls under. And also, for the sake of this video, I don't want to keep this just for the people that have received the painful situation, circumstance, emotional response, but also for the person that may have inflicted pain on another person. I think that's really important, is that we are able to really understand when we hurt somebody else. And for those of us who have been hurt, to really understand our pain. And so wherever you are at on your path right now, when you've come to this video, you can take a look and see, identifying the pain. So did you betray somebody? Did someone betray you? Did you abandon somebody? Did somebody abandon you? Did you shame somebody? Did someone shame you? And a lot of times, our deepest pain can be intimate relationships, come from intimate relationships, something that has gone amok, something that has been catastrophic. And those intimate relationships are the hardest. That kind of pain is something that needs to be grieved, and it's very, very intense, especially when there's a soul connection and there's that touching of spirits, and you're because you don't form that union with your mother, your father, or your children. It's a different type of scenario. So an intimate relationship is much harder, but you can still apply these principles. Um, so you identify the pain, where it came from. Was it an intimate relationship? Was it a family member? Was it your children, a friend? Was it maybe perhaps a boss, somebody, like somebody from the outside of your most intimate relationships? And identify what that pain is. And was it a breakup? Was it, did somebody fire you? Did somebody ridicule you or make you feel really small and poor about yourselves? So the first thing we're doing is we're identifying the pain and what that pain is in this moment, so that we can go into the second step. And the second step is an awareness of the pain. So when pain comes in, it's basically like a radar in the body to say alert, alert, alert. Um, and if it is not moved through these steps, then it manifests as something else like illness, disease, depression, emotional things that happen. And so being aware of where it is, I know, like if it was a breakup, if it was something with your beloved, the pain is very much in the heart space and it can be very debilitating. And so just becoming aware of where the pain is. If somebody screamed at you and made you feel, if they shamed you and made you feel really bad, you will feel a lot of tension and it'll be more in the head space. And like if they abandoned you, then your whole the pain's going to be lower in that first chakra where you don't feel secure. Betrayal also. So feel where that pain is and see where it is in the body, see how it makes you feel. And then the third step is I want you to sit with the pain. And this takes a lot of deep breaths. So this typically is where people want to run and flee and do everything they can to avoid being with the pain. I want you to be with the pain and just really feel and sense it. And you're going to feel it just like moving through the body. And if you're grieving, the process of what that feels like when it's moving through the body, moving through your emotional mind, and how that feels. Sitting with the pain and not understanding it, just allowing it to move and to sit instead of numbing it down, and seeing the intensity of the pain in the body. And because there's always a remedy, you can always choose the course of where the pain is going to go and how you can alter it. So step 1 was identifying the pain. Step 2 is awareness. Step 3 is sitting with it. The fourth step is to observe it. So what is happening in your body, physically and emotionally? It's almost like you're on the outside looking in and just kind of seeing how the pain just like maps its course through the body, and seeing how the emotions that come up from that pain. If there was betrayal, betrayal's a really intense one, and you will feel very hot, and there's going to be a lot of anger, there's going to be a lot of frustration, and you're going to observe it and just allow it to erupt the way it needs to. You're you're allowing it to move and not to shut it down. We're not suppressing it, we're opening up this pain. And so you're really observing what is going on. You can also take a look at whether you caused the pain or the pain was inflicted on you. Observe how you are with this pain. Are you attaching to it like a victim? Are you avoiding your responsibility in the situation? Owning your own responsibility in that, your accountability is really important in the observation process. In the observation process, we are not just only looking at the pain, we're looking at our part in the pain, and we are understanding in this process how it was brought to us as a gift. And when I mean as a gift is that that pain can show us something else that we need to work on, that it's triggering something that says, wait a minute, if I've hurt somebody, has this been a pattern? How can I choose better next time? How can I develop better from what I have done? How can I learn from my mistake? And from someone that's been given the pain, how can I also understand myself as to why this got to the point where this pain has happened, this circumstance or this action towards me. Finally, the fifth one is forgiveness. So if you inflicted pain on someone else, how can you forgive yourself? And how can you ask forgiveness for the person that you hurt? For the person that has been inflicted with the pain, how can we forgive the other who did this unmentionable? and how can we learn to forgive ourselves so that we're not sitting in a pool of of really self-pity, but also blame. And the forgiveness is huge. And in order for forgiveness to happen, we need a few other things to be going on in our emotional state as human beings. And that really is a sense of compassion and empathy and gratitude. But those will be in other videos. But for right now, I just really want you to identify the pain, the awareness of the pain. Where is it at? What is it doing in the body and emotions? Sitting with it and allowing the pain to be instead of avoiding it. Number 5, observing it and observing your part in it and holding yourself accountable is going to give you so much freedom. And then finally, forgiveness. So I hope this helps wherever you're at on your journey with the pain, and just really allow it. Don't hold on and attach to it, but just allow it to move and allow it to be instead of numbing it, because you are only suppressing it. So every time that something painful happens and you push it, push it, push it, guess what? It comes up when you least expect it, and it may come up as a disease or an illness. So just face that pain and let us sit with it. And I really just hope that this is helpful on your journey, and we will be discussing, kids, more of these other emotional topics in future vlogs. So peace and blessings on your journey. And don't forget to subscribe, and my website's at www.christyfunk.com. Thanks.